Hello and good day everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Sir Marcy. For today's video, we're going to discuss the real number system. This is again in grade 7 mathematics. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated with my latest videos. And for today's objective, at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to, letter A, familiarize with the set of real numbers. Letter B, classify the sets of numbers where the given number belongs. And letter C, differentiate rational and irrational numbers. Alright, before we proceed with our lesson, I have here a short activity for you. I have here a thermometer. Remember that a thermometer shows the temperature between 100 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius. So what happens if you put thermometer in boiling water? Notice that it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. So that is the boiling point of water. Then what happens if you put the thermometer in the refrigerator? Then the freezing point of water is at 0 degree Celsius. So from here, can you imagine how big a number is? And that's what we're going to figure out for today's lesson. So I have here the hierarchy of numbers. So the hierarchy of numbers composed of the following: the real number, the rational, irrational numbers, the integers, negative integers, whole number, zero, and a natural number. So let's try to differentiate them. First is we start with the real number. As you can see, the real numbers are the combination of rational and irrational numbers. When we say rational numbers, these are the numbers that can be represented as quotient of two numbers. It can be represented in terms of a fraction, or we can write it in terms of A all over B. Then we have the next one, and this is called irrational numbers. These are the numbers that cannot be expressed as quotient of two numbers. Okay? Then we have this. The integers is the set of numbers that is composed of negative, zero, and positive numbers. Example of integers are negative 11, negative 1000. We also have 0 and positive numbers such as 1, 3, 100, and 500. Okay, so these are the integers. Okay, next we have the negative integers and the positive and the whole numbers. The whole number is actually the numbers beginning with 0, or the number beginning with 0. Okay, and we have this natural number. So the natural number is called the counting numbers. So these are the numbers beginning with 1. Okay, so I hope you already you can easily identify which of these are real numbers, natural numbers, irrational, or real numbers. So for us to understand more about the real numbers, I have here the number line. So to the right of 0, we call this the positive numbers, or the natural numbers, or simply the counting numbers. Remember, by definition, the natural numbers or the counting numbers are the numbers that start with 1. Next, we have 0 and the positive or natural numbers. These are called whole numbers. And take note, by definition, the whole number begins with 0. Then this one, the whole number line, we have from negative numbers zero and positive numbers or counting number, we call these the integers. So these are set of numbers that contains the negative, zero, and natural numbers. Then let's say we have negative 1/2, 0.5, and 3 all over 2. These are what we call the rational numbers. Take note that rational numbers are numbers that can be expressed in terms of A all over B. Now let's try to classify the following numbers by placing a check mark in the appropriate row. Like for example, we have the following numbers: 100, negative 1/2, square root of 3, 0.3. We have also 1.25. Take note that we can also have here more than one answer. Okay, so let's try to answer number 1, that is 100. Remember 100, that is part of the natural numbers. It is also part of the whole numbers. We can classify also 100 as integers, rational, and it is real numbers. Let's say we are going to answer number 2. We have negative 1/2. Take note that negative 1/2 is a fraction. Okay? Since it is expressed in terms of a fraction, then we can say that it is a rational number, also real numbers. And for number 3, I have here a square root of 3. A square root of 3 is actually an irrational number, and it is real number. So take note that square root of 3, these are the numbers that cannot be expressed in terms of a fraction or in terms of A all over B. Then we have 0.3 bar. That means this one is a rational number and also real numbers. For the last one, I have 1.25. And 1.25, if we are going to classify this is under rational number and also real numbers. Okay, so with this example, I hope that you can easily identify to which this number belongs. Okay, now I have here an activity for you. So please answer this in 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to give you only 30 seconds to answer this activity. Timer starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's now check your answer. For number 1, we have 4. If we are going to classify 4, that belongs to natural number. It is also a whole number, an integer, a rational number, and real numbers. Then we have 3/4. 3/4 is a fraction, therefore it is under rational number and real numbers. We have square root of 5. Square root of 5 is actually an irrational number since we cannot express it in terms of a fraction. Okay? Then it is also real numbers. For number 4, we have 0. So what do you think? Okay, that is a whole number. It is also an integer, a rational number, and also real number. And for our last problem. We have 2.67. Okay, for that problem, 2.67 is actually a rational number and a real number. Okay, so kindly count the number of correct answers. I hope that you all got it correct. Okay, so for your assignment, please test yourself on page 28. You will only answer the following numbers. Numbers 1 to 10, that is true or false, and 11 to 20, classify whether it is rational or irrational. Also, please study page 30 to 31, that is concept of opposites. Now, that will end our session today. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated with my latest videos. Bye!